Hi, my name is Mary Sheedy and I'm a chiropractor. I graduated from the Anglo-European College of Chiropractic in 1990, which means I've been in practice for the last 30 years, working on people with back pain predominantly. As chiropractors, our main focus is usually treating the muscles of the spine. The muscles of the spine are basically divided into two categories. We have those muscles in our back which cause us to extend, which are called the extensor muscles, and then the other group of muscles are the flexor muscles, and they're the ones that make us go into flexion. As chiropractors and physiotherapists and osteopaths, our main focus is working on these extensor muscles, i.e. these muscles down the back of the spine. Over the last few years, I have begun to focus my attention a little bit more on the flexor muscles, and it has come to my attention that a tightening and shortness of these flexor muscles is more responsible for chronic non-specific lower back pain than any of the extensor muscles that we target and work upon. I began to devise techniques that would stretch this muscle, and when I was working on patients, I found that their improvement rate massively increased and the duration for which they felt well also improved. I then started to think, wouldn't it be great if you could design a device that would allow a person to do this for themselves at home, particularly for people who sit for prolonged periods, because that's one of the major causes of a shortened psoas muscle. But not just for people who sit for prolonged periods, also for sports people who do a lot of long distance running, because the muscle is also one of the main hip flexors and it tends to become very tight in sports people as well. If we take a look at this diagram, you can see the figure on the left has a normal psoas muscle and a normal lumbar lordosis. However, the one on the right, where this muscle has become shortened, you can see where it has created what is called a hyperlordosis. This hyperlordosis in time has a knock-on effect through the spine, creating an abnormal posture with anterior head carriage. So this is the prototype that I have designed, and my daughter Lily here has agreed to demonstrate. Okay, Lily, I want you to take a deep breath in. Hold the breath in, then push with those flexor muscles as you slowly breathe out. Keep the hold and relax. So right, what Lily has done there is she has contracted her flexor muscles, and this specifically designed abdominal board, which targets the psoas muscle, has provided active resistance to the contraction of those muscles. This is just the rough prototype and obviously not what I would envisage the final product looking like, but it does give you a good idea of the concept. My team consists of Jack Gregan of Core Design in IT Carlow, who has been hugely helpful in getting it to the prototype stage. My brother John, who's an accountant and financial advisor. My brother Tony, who's a quantity surveyor. My brother Tig, who's a project manager, my brother Senan, who is an IT consultant, and my brother Owen, who lives in Vancouver and is an aircraft engineer. I believe the market opportunities for a product like this are huge, particularly when we consider the current environment that we're in. The majority of people all over the globe are currently working from their homes. Statistics show that 80% of the population suffer from chronic non-specific lower back pain at some stage in their lives. I also see a massive market opportunity in sport. All sports people of all disciplines, not just long distance runners, but people like hurlers, footballers, rugby players, swimmers, golfers, you name it. All of these people have issues with shortened hip flexors. In terms of competition, there are no devices like this out there, but there are one or two products such as a strap-on posture corrector that I've seen online. This doesn't really address the source of the problem. it really just corrects the symptom created by the shortened hip flexor muscles. The other competition, of course, would be the pharmaceutical industry. And given that recently there has been some concern over the taking of non-steroidal anti-inflammatories, I do think that this is the time for such a product. The revenue model that I am proposing for this device is to manufacture it for around €100. From the research that we have done, I believe this is more than possible, and it would then be my intention to sell it for €200. In terms of implementation, the next stage in the process for us is to apply for a 50-50 voucher, which I've already discussed with both Jack and Stephen Rooney. Then it's our intention to source whatever materials that we're going to use in the device. And if I am successful in my application for phase 2 of New Frontiers, it will be my intention to spend all of the stipend on further development of this device. I would just like to finish by saying that there are a couple of other products that I would like to design in time. I believe it's possible that a wall-mounted version of this particular prototype could be designed, as well as an athlete's version of the same model. And finally, can I thank you all for your attention and time.